I know this may sound alien and quaint, but the place I always looked to for social leadership was actually the sciences. It took me the longest time to figure out how naive that was. So, I remember not understanding why nobody cared about climate change. To me, it was natural for the scientists to take a leadership role in shaping society. It wasn't even progress. I didn't even see it as debatable, really. It was just obvious that society should be run by scientists. Who else would run society? Not the scientists. As an adult, I can look back on myself and label myself a technocrat. I do retain the term somewhat. In fact, that was my initial point of interest in scientific socialism, or whatever the oxymorons in the term, and however apparent that is to me now. Why were lawyers running the country? What did they know about science? Liberals? Conservatives? What's this boring shit? Where's the science part? And, if we know a little bit about Canadian politics, I think I may be, see, I never looked at issues from an ideological perspective. I always looked at issues from from an empirical perspective, right? So when you want to talk about things like how do you create jobs, that's an empirical question. You know, you want to talk about budget deficits. We should be dealing with empiricism here. Economics should be approached empirically, not ideologically. The Liberal Party of Canada actually put a lot of effort into trying to be an empirical, science-based party. It's not perfect, and I'm sure we can have some debates. I'm not going to stand up for them too strongly, to be honest with you. But that was something that did. I mean, I was able to, you know. I think that where they do miss the mark, the truth is often, almost always, to their left. But they are willing to move to the right when the evidence suggests it, and they're willing to move to the left when the evidence suggests it as well, if perhaps not far enough left. So, I mean, there was, you know, I wouldn't go quite so far as to call the Liberal Party of Canada a science party, but it's probably about as close as as close as we can get to one, anyways. You can imagine how crushed I was when I realized that most people look not towards scientists and academics for leadership, but towards athletes and entertainers. This is coming from somebody that has had a deep love of music for as long as I can remember, but that understood it for what it actually is. What the fuck was wrong with people? It's just another factor for misanthropy, for depression, disassociation, or to withdraw. Even in my early 20s, I couldn't really grapple with the truth of it. I mean, I got it, but didn't get it. It wasn't until I was able to talk to some people from outside the continent that I was able to get my head around how abnormal this society really is. University professors can hold televised news conferences in prime time in France, and people watch it. In Korea, scientists can generate rallies that can pack sports stadiums to talk about their scientific discoveries and how science is a way forward into the future. Wow. That's the society I want to live in. But we're stuck here. The issue eventually became apparent to me. What I truly need to grapple with is what the fuck it is that's wrong with us. And there is an answer. And it's that sometime when I was very young, in the West, the English-speaking countries, we decided to slash our education budgets. And we've ended up with a culture that is borderline illiterate. They've done studies. Apparently, majorities of Americans cannot read past the level of a TV guide. That's the only thing they can read, is the TV guide. And then we wonder why they pick dubious sources. Dubious people. Like Donald Trump. It's because they just don't have the intellectual faculties to see past it and see what a better option might be. And we had this rise of anti-intellectualism that was correlated with the generational overturn that brought us the baby boomer generation. And we can hope that in the end it turns out to be an anomaly, kind of a blip, and all of this anti-intellectualism goes away with the boomers. I don't know, maybe that's teleological. We gotta hope, right? But that's the answer. We can look at other factors. We can look at television. We can look at population, you know, bottlenecks or whatever else. But the actual real problem is the lack of education in society, um, and the disinterest in learning that has come with